Welcome to my channel. My name is Stephen Peer. I own Peer Landscaping. Today we're going to take a break from landscaping and we're going to do another little video on one of my hobbies. 400 EX with mods. Some of the mods I know, others I'm not really sure. On the names of the mods, we have a MotoWorks exhaust, we have extended rear axles, we have Nerf bars, we have a jetted carb, extended swing arms, upgraded suspension, wider stance. It's really hard to roll this thing over. You have to really be going nuts with the suspension. When you go around turns and you go off jumps, it's really smooth and soft, and it absorbs the shock, and it's pretty quick. So there's a quick view of it. Let's go for a ride. So some of you guys may know what this is and others may not. If you don't know what it is or you're not familiar with it, it's no big deal. I'll give you a little lesson now. So this is a 2003 Honda 400 EX. It has about 400 cc of engine power stock. This one's upgraded, so it does have more. I don't know how much more, but I can tell you it's around 400 or higher than that. I have wider tires. They're bead lock. What that means is the tires cannot come off of the rims if they lose air pressure, because the bead that meets the rim is actually clamped on. So the tire is actually clamped onto the rims. It does sit wider. Wider stance is nice because it helps you have more control. It won't roll as easier because it's a wider stance and a softer suspension, so you'll slide, you can drift. It's got a bumper, LED taillight, aftermarket exhaust, extended swing arm. Here's the Nerf bars, like I said. Here is the rear brake that controls the rears. There is the brake, the caliper. Right here you have the front brake, which is on the front right handlebar, upgraded Pro taper bars. Throttle is a thumb control. You grab it like this, and this is how you give it the throttle. have the gas tank. This is where you put the gas in. You have the clutch. When you shift, you have to pull the clutch in and shift. It's like a motorcycle. You have the starter. You have controls for the lights and the kill switch. You can also use this. You wrap this around your arm, and as you're driving, if you were to happen to fly off, it pulls this out and it turns the quad off. Here's the engine. Here is the gear selector, the gear switch. With this, it's how you select your gears. First gear is down. It has 5 gears. First gear is down, so you click once and that's first gear. A half a click up is into neutral. And you have second gear up, third gear up, fourth gear up, and fifth gear is up. So to start off, you can start in first gear, so click all the way down. Slowly let the clutch out like this. At the same time you're letting the clutch out, you're giving it a little gas, and that'll let you take off. So that's just the basics. You have the battery. The seat comes off to expose the air cleaner. But I don't want to get into too much detail. I'm just giving you guys a quick overview. It's got a bumper on it. And the suspension is great. I'm almost 300 pounds and I could ride this thing all day long, go off of some jumps, speed around. The top speed is probably around 75 miles an hour. That depends on how much you weigh. I'm not going to get it to go up to 75 miles an hour. But it definitely could with a smaller person. It has 2 headlights. You have high beams and low beams. So the rear has 1 caliper and brake, so the caliper and brake pads stop that whole rear axle. The fronts, they actually have a brake and caliper per each wheel, so there's 1 on that side, 1 on that side. It's kind of like a car. You have suspension, tie rods, ball joints. You do have to maintain them or lube them up. These are Nerf bars where you put your feet. It's nice if you go off a jump and your foot slips off of this tiny little peg here. You could still not run over your leg or snap your leg off. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments, guys. It's nice to take a little break from landscaping.